spiritual gift is messing up liturgy. So, thank you for letting me exercise that gift today. I appreciate the opportunity. One Christmas, I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I was really, really excited. I was getting a Christmas gift, and it was a sweatshirt. You may think an 8 or 9 year old would be very disappointed with getting a sweatshirt for Christmas, but I was super excited. The reason I was super excited was it was a UT football sweatshirt, and it was commemorating the upcoming bowl game. And if you remember back in history, at one point in time, going to a bowl game was a special thing. It is not now. There's, the Dorito Bowl, the Mucinex Bowl, the Bob's Auto Repair Bowl, and everyone gets to go to a bowl game. But at this time, it was selective, and you had to really work for it, and we were going to go. And I was really, really excited. So I got the gift, and I opened it up, and then it was New Year's later on, and we celebrated New Year's. And then the week after New Year's was, football time. So my mom and my sister, they weren't interested, and so they were out, and me and my dad were going to watch the game. So I go down, and I put on my sweatshirt, and it's the first really football game that I was going to as a child. I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to watch this game. And I did intently watch that first half, and Penn State really, really beat us bad. And then, it was just terrible. It was just terrible. And so it got to halftime, my dad's sitting there, and then I stand up, I take that sweatshirt off, and I walk straight up into my room, and I gave up on the Volunteers. I was a fair weather fan. I was not as committed at that time. And sometimes I feel like that. I feel like there are certain communities that I'm a part of, that at certain times I'm very proud to wear the jersey. I'm very proud to be a part of that community. But then something happens or something's revealed, and I wish that I had the opportunity at that time to disassociate myself with the community, and I want to take that jersey off. I really love my family. I love them so much, and we have certain family members are really into our history, and there's so many things about the history of our family that I'm very, very proud of, that I really enjoy that story. But there are other times where I learn things about my history. I'm a white Southerner with family from West Tennessee, so that means that there's slavery's in my story, in my family. I've heard stories about possibly Indian agents in my family. If you know anything about how we treated indigenous people in this country, you know that having Indian agents as your relatives is not a good thing. And so there's certain times where I want to take that jersey off. I look at being a Christian. I'm proud of the abolitionist movement. I'm proud of civil rights. I'm proud of the preservation of education and the creation of hospitals. So much in the history of Christianity I'm proud of. But then you have the Inquisitions, and you have the Crusades, and you have ripping indigenous children away from their culture and trying to westernize them. And I want to take that jersey off. Even the UCC. The UCC is so progressive in the forefront of justice issues and have been either the first or early on the equality of women, LGBTQ rights, the environment. But if you look at the UCC and all the 4 strands that came into the UCC, and you follow that history of each strand back far enough, you will find things that you're not proud of. And you want to take that jersey off. And being American, I'm so proud to be an American. And I couldn't stop being an American if I tried. I could change my citizenship. I could move to another country. I would open my mouth and people would know that I'm an American. They would know that I'm American by my viewpoints, the food I like to eat, how I express myself, the way I think. And I'm so proud to be an American, but there are certain things in our history when I learn that I wish I could just take that jersey off. One of my favorite novels is a science fiction novel called A Canticle for Leibowitz by Walter Miller. The premise of the book is in the 1960s, the Cold War comes to a head, and Russia and America destroy the world through nuclear holocaust. The fiction part of the book is that a small group of humans survive. If you know anything about nuclear weapons, in reality, no one would survive. But in this story, humans survive, and it traces humanity as it is plunged into the dark ages back up through as it kind of rediscovers education. And it tells the story through a local monastery, this group of monks. And in the story, every generation, every century is kind of told through the abbot of the monastery. And each abbot has a relationship with a Jewish man. Sometimes he's a pilgrim, sometimes he's a hermit. And none of the abbots, because they're in different centuries, no one knows that actually this Jewish man, this Jewish pilgrim, this Jewish hermit doesn't seem to age. He's always around. But in this particular passage that I want to read to you, the abbot is reflecting on this Jewish hermit that seems to be the last of his people.